now Professor Amadi, Director, Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, joins us on a Rights Prime Time to make sense out of the whole issue we just discussed a while ago. Glad to have you join us, Prof. So, we're even discussing off camera. What's your sense of what Jibola Bashiru, National Secretary of the APC, said concerning opposition, and then, of course, what he said concerning the economy and thinning down the democratic space?
I think it's right to say it's not their job to help opposition parties get stronger and defeat them. As long as they act within the law, that means things like bribing party leadership, things like maybe conducting clandestine illegal operations against the parties. As long as they don't do any of those kind of things like Watergate or the things, it's fair game to probably recruit people, kind of attract them to their own party, take other dark arts of politics to get better. So I think he's right to say our job is to be stronger and, if possible, make opposition weaker. But again, we get to the other issues around maybe politics and governance. Also, the president's charge is also to deepen democracy. It doesn't necessarily mean making the other party strong. For example, if you respect freedom of the press, if you don't detain, arrest political opposition, then you're allowing democracy itself, not necessarily the opposition party. So democracy can be strong and the ruling party still remains stronger. So I think they shouldn't conflate between politics, playing smart politics, and undermining democracy by probably intolerance, by policies that undermine good democracy. Then on the economic front, I think it's expected to defend the government. The government has taken a strong position that harsh policies means wise policies. But I used to say that Nigerian leaders should draw a decision between hard, we say courageous policies. You need to take hard policies. But hard does not necessarily mean smart. We saw the era of SAP, Social Adjustment Program. It was hard. We said, okay, we need to bite the bullet to get better. We never got better. So I always said, if you look at the history of economic development in Asia, they took smart policies. So hard is not necessarily smart. My view is that the quick devaluation of currency, the removal of subsidy, and the manner they were done is not wise policy. It may be tough, may be courageous, and the result shows. Now, the CBN just announced increased charges for ATM operations.
And not just ATM. Everything is being increased.
So I said, so you are dealing with an economy that's not export-oriented, an economy that's not really that productive in terms of, when you have inflation and income is increasing, there's some inflation coming from excess supply of money. This is inflation not from excess supply of money, not from government increased expenditure, which is what normally, as people like Friedman will argue, drives inflation. But this is inflation that is causing because of rising costs and foreign currency devaluation. So essentially,
which is a fallout of
policy. So it's not the type, but it's okay. Things can go up, wages go up. Again, what this has resulted is that working class people are going to suffer most because they can't externalize their losses. So, for example, if you're a manufacturer or a big importer, you externalize losses in price increase. But here is a wage taker. And the thing that rises, the least to rise is wages because it's not within the control of the worker. Collective bargaining takes time. And by the time you finish it, the value of money is lost. So 70,000, assuming they pay it, is now less than 20%, lost 20% value since it was negotiated. And so I think that needlessly, perhaps, we've pushed the ordinary person through a grind. We could have taken some of these policies in a staged manner. And by the way, if you look at Asian history, they did manage float. They didn't float their currency 100%. If you look at how they moved, and that's why some of them survived the 2008 financial crisis. The countries that survived most in the Asia countries, China, those who did very well, but those who had managed float, who didn't get too much exposure. So the notion that market prices have to determine all forms of pricing, it's not a theory that's backed up by economic history.
All right, just lastly before we go, the issue of the disciplinary committee of the PDP, it didn't hold again today. It's been postponed for 2 weeks, because the players there, Autumn, is asking for an apology. He wasn't informed. And then Anyanwu says he was sick.
Well, my view is that I don't think that this very committee will probably meet in the near future. Again, PDP is in such a crisis that, like Mustafa Bello said, there's no leadership, there's no clearinghouse. So all the systems are not working. For example, NWC, NEC should have capacity to vote, make a decision. But it looks like there's no stability in all the agencies, institutions of PDP to create that disparate power. So yes, there's a constitutional basis for discipline maybe, but convening power, getting these guys to attend, they may not attend. And then if you say they have been therefore suspended, the implementation is difficult. Look at the chairman of BOT now being suspended from his village. From
No,
his
he has.
they have reversed it.
The NWC has.
And reversed it. But that
but both of them are still claiming that they have the right in the law.
So
and all that.
the case is, this is more like perfect storm. The functionality is critical and all-encompassing. They need to have a sense in which somebody arises. And I think perhaps President Jonathan's exit without, there's no control, no authority, and therefore no convening power. And nobody can put this together and create some kind of safe landing and a new normal. PDP is looking for a new normal, but it's difficult to get now.
One hopes to get it because of the electorate. Professor Amadi, thank you for your analysis. That's where we leave it today on Arise Prime Time.